Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show where after the collision, we sift through
the wreckage.
Me. Oh my God, get this right. It's been a week.
I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, the best in the world, the vet, Jamie Williams, and he is our co-host, the magnanimous, the glorious, the birthday boy from last week, the Professor Chabelo, Vera, Cruz. Always welcome back to your guys' shows. And it's been an interesting 24 hours in the world of pro wrestling. Vet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just happy that we have our professor back. Freshly turned 29.
Yes.
He's just ready. Yeah. Just life is just beginning for him. I don't really think that a birthday is an excuse to miss any shows or anything like that, but we'll let it slide. You only turned 29 once, so, we're just happy to have him back now.
What had happened was that, certain things were happening during the birthday weekend that I had to ascertain for. So, I couldn't give my all to the wreckage. That's what it was. So Now I'm here. I'm rocking my Jacob Fatu sweater. I'm ready to go. Even though it's the wrong organization to rock a sweater with that. But, neither there.
And he's not the tribal chief.
Of course not. But like he says, I'm all gas and no brakes. That's why we're here on the wreckage.
What was your gas with brakes? Well, that's another question. But anyway, Vet, what's going on with you, man? Did you end up watching Backlash yet at all?
Nope.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't, to be honest. And I just want to apologize to everybody for the little delay when it comes to this show. Unfortunately, good old StreamYard. I know it's easy to blame me. I'll take the heat, but it wasn't my fault. Unfortunately, it's StreamYard's fault. They wouldn't let us into the room, and then magically I was able to enter our normal room, not the new one, but our one that we got here now, and that's how we're here right now. So StreamYard, fuck you again for screwing with us because it's a Sunday and happy Mother's Day.
Don't badmouth StreamYard or else the worst things are going to happen. Don't you know how this works?
That's true, but I just also want to...
Jimmy, breaking news, guys. This is not dirty news. This is clean news. You know where those internet cables are for StreamYard? You don't know where that is?
In the water?
No, in the Strait of Hormuz.
Who's
controlling that? The Iranians. They're like telling StreamYard, you got to pay us a fee right now so we can get all these broadcasts out there going. So blame the Iranians on this one. It's not on Jimmy, guys. It's on the Iranians.
I'm surprised if they had telephone lines out there.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But I do want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day, by the way, also to all the mothers out there, especially who are, they're a rock, I guess, to everybody. Not everybody, but still, happy Mother's Day. And I got Big Ray texting me saying any luck. I'll get back to him. Obviously, there is luck. We are here, but anyway, fellas, Prof, I want to ask you first. Did you catch Backlash? And if you did, what'd you think of it?
Yeah, I actually caught Backlash. It was a very interesting show because, I was looking at it and comparing it to WrestleMania, guys. So, one of the first things that I saw that was different was it started at 6 and ended almost close to 9 o'clock. So it was 3 hours. You could look at it from that standpoint. So, yeah, we can look at it that way. 5 matches for a 3-hour show. You know, again, we're always going to talk about the numbers. Going to talk about the minutes of wrestling with this IWC diatribe. So, you know, the wrestling, it was there. The advertisements were still there, but it was kind of a little bit smaller. It was a little bit smaller. I'm not gonna say it was like, oh, they got it the right formula. No. Advertisements is advertisements. It sucks there, Jimmy. But I'm just saying, this advertisements felt a little bit smaller, Jimmy. And then they got into the wrestling a little bit more. And then the wrestling, you know, they were all like 15 minutes a match, you could say.
Yeah, it flowed pretty quickly, but I felt there was no energy though during the show. In some ways, I don't know, man. It was something was off.
There was plenty of energy because which kind of energy are you looking for? You looking for the spot monkey flippy dude that you see with AEW siggos? No, we didn't get that kind of energy. I can give you an example. Everybody enjoyed Danhausen's match. Vet was the first one to tell everybody Danhausen is something.
Oh no, he absolutely is. And it was laughed. Don't get me wrong.
I'm giving Vet his flowers. Danhausen is something. The debut sucked. People were confused. People were like, "This guy is the big deal." Guess what, Jimmy? He's a big fucking deal, and his match was entertaining. He cloned Minihausen or Luchahausen, whatever you want to call it. And then the cloning machine got 5 more midgets. It's funny shit. That's all you need. And this is what I kept saying about the value of Danhausen when we talk about the budget cuts and shit like that. The value of Danhausen shows you with this match. And that was a 15-minute match. He made it entertaining. He got a luchador Minihausen who did all the spots. That's what was entertaining about it. Vet was right. Months ago, you know, just like Vet says, check the archives of what Vet said. So I'm saying it for Vet. He doesn't have to say it. Check the archives. Danhausen is something. And the pay-per-view, the match quality for all matches was something.
I gave it a 5 out of 10, just quality. And Jago hated the show. Totally shat on it. I mean, completely shat on it. Like, I mean, yeah, you got to listen to the Backlash review on the Patreon, by the way, if you want to check it out, if you haven't already. But he totally shat on it. I didn't think it was totally all bad. I enjoyed the Asuka Io Sky match, even though it started off a little slow, but it was fine afterwards. I enjoyed the best match, honestly, was probably Trick Williams and the real gingerbread man in Sami Zayn, and followed by the women's maybe, and the main event disappointed me in many ways, to be honest. But I didn't mind Seth and Bron Breakker either, but there's a lot of no selling going on in that match and just a lot of bullshit. But I don't know, something felt off to me, but that's just me. But I didn't hate on it as much as Jago did, put it that way. But anyway, in other news though, it seems like, and I'll go to you first, Vet. It seems Asuka is retiring. She's done with professional wrestling and possibly, obviously, WWE. Is it an end to an era when it comes to Asuka, because she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, dude.
Who says she's retiring?
Well, according to Jago, now I haven't seen this myself, but Jago claims that she wrote something in Japanese on Instagram. And if you also watch the match, she started crying as soon as the match finished. Her and Io Sky both embraced.
Sorry, Jimmy, I didn't mean to interrupt. She didn't do it in Japanese. She did it in English. She quoted Frank Sinatra's My Way, and from those lyrics, if Hami Nights don't know it, and now the end is near. Will I face? She wrote that. So I'm just saying.
So was it in Japanese? He told me it was in Japanese.
I saw it in English, that she looked through a window and sang My Way from Frank Sinatra. So the floor is yours.
Well, there you go. Well, that pretty much confirms it anyway. So to me, what Professor just said pretty much means retirement, I guess.
I guess. Look, until somebody makes an official statement, I don't care to comment on it.
Corey Graves and Big E touched on it on the post-game show that they do. They pretty much alluded to, like, they're not sure what's going on, but if this is the end, they thanked Asuka for everything that she's contributed to professional wrestling and WWE.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Until it's like I said, until it's an officially until she's officially retired, and there is no official retirements in wrestling. Everybody knows that. So why are we even bothering talking about it? Brock Lesnar, are we still talking about him? You know what I mean?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Well, then
You
we're gonna
remember
not
that?
talk about this next week either.
You remember that Instagram post, Jimmy, from Brock Lesnar looking in the mirror? He was quoting ass, titties.
Was
ass,
he?
Yes.
titties. Yeah. So, did that mean retirement? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Did he really write that, or am I trip? Or are you just saying it?
If you
Obviously,
really
he
believe
He
that,
had an
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah. Brock Lesnar had an Instagram post. Jimmy, come on. What's
Yeah, I
next?
know exactly. That's
What's
I'm
next?
Just, I don't know anymore, man.
Next.
For fuck's sake.
Next.
No, wait. Before I go next, Prof, do you think she's done?
do I think what from the Instagram post?
From-
Again,
No,
everybody.
no, from
everybody had-
WWE.
I'll go with the Instagram post. That was real from her. You have a point of reflection. She's been with the WWE since I think what was it, 2015,
10
2016.
years now, at least.
So
Right.
she's had a great run. 10 years is a great run. Does that mean that she's supposed to be a WWE lifer? No. Could she
No,
go back
of
to
course not.
Japan and maybe do something? Maybe open a school for the next generation of Japanese women wrestlers? Cool. I would applaud her for doing that. Maybe does she want to seek other ventures, some other places to hone her craft like AEW? The floor is hers. The choice is hers. Let's see what she wants. Sometimes if you've been wrestling, and again, it doesn't matter if it's WWE or AEW. If you wrestle for one company for a certain amount of time, and then I guess we could even look at the example of Tommaso Ciampa. He wrestled in WWE, NXT for 10 years, guys, and he felt that his window was closing, and he wanted to hone his craft in AEW, or he just wanted to feel like it was important to go out in his own terms. He didn't want to feel like relegated to a small staff for himself. So again, that's what he chose to do. So if Asuka feels the same way, then God bless her. Let her try it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, keeping with Backlash, and Vet will love this one 100%, but we're going to have a new PLE and a new championship belt, as a matter of fact, Vet. And before you get too excited, I'm going to get you even more excited. You're going to be gassed by the time I finish with this. So Get this. First of all, we're getting a new PLE called the John Cena Classic, right? Yes,
Amazing.
you heard that right. It is amazing. But you know what's even more amazing, Vet?
What's that?
We're getting a new championship belt.
You said that part.
Oh, I did? Well, it's going to get even better then for you, right?
Okay.
So it's a so-called tournament, I guess. But it doesn't matter if you win, right? It's NXT versus WWE, by the way. And it doesn't matter if you win, because we, the fans, get to vote who can become the new John Cena Classic champion. Yes, you heard that right.
So they're going to have matches,
Right.
but the fan votes for who they liked in the match, not who won the match?
That's right. That's exactly what
Okay.
we're getting.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The smile is gleaming off of Vet. I can see it right
Look at
there.
him. He's loving it. He's loving it. I can see it.
Yeah, I'm it's it's amazing. I can never, every time I think that the stuff that I grew up on was too childish,
Right.
and we were supposed to outgrow it back in the 80s, Professor, like every time I think about that, we should have ended at rock and wrestling, and then
and
once
grown up.
then we're like, yeah, that's for kids now. I don't watch that shit anymore, where we should have left it. And every time I think about that, and then I think about how much more mature and less stupid it was way back then, and they keep finding new ways to make us loyal, lifelong fans feel stupider and stupider and stupider for hanging on. What do you fucking mean the fans get to vote? Why are we having anything? Why don't we? Why is this even? This is a PLE. It's supposed to be a PLE.
That's what it
you have to
seems
watch
like.
a whole. You have to watch a whole night of matches that don't matter.
That don't mean shit, bro.
This is an award ceremony, not a PLE. Why wouldn't you just
Vet, let me calm you down. Let me give you a let me give you a hypothetical scenario. Let me just ask you this question. And this is not me defending it. This is not me defending it. I just want Vet to be calm
You better
down
not be defending it,
and
Prof.
simmer down. Let's just say, okay, give me an NXT guy. I mean a real low level NXT guy.
Low level? Oh,
Low level. Give me a low level NXT
Vet is
guy.
better for that, because I can't
Vet,
think right now.
Give me a very low level, even LFG guy. Just give me a name.
I'll say Jasper Troy.
Jasper. Okay, here we
All
go.
right.
Jasper Troy against Obafemi in the John Cena Classic. Obafemi destroys the shit out of Jasper. Well, no, not destroys the shit out. It's a very competitive 50-50 match, but you know what the end result? Obafemi wins it. We
Right.
call to say Jasper Troy did his best. This was his best performance. This was his best showing. You know, we should not, derail Jasper Troy, and we're gonna call in or vote Jasper Troy. What do you say, Vet, about that kind of hypothetical? Maybe Jasper Troy gives the performance of a lifetime, and just because he lost to Obafemi, which was predictable, but he did his thing.
Well, if you're the producer for that match, how are you supposed to lay that out?
I'm not saying that part.
Well, we need to say that part because this whole thing is preposterous. To take one of the favorite words of the Wade Kellers and the Brian Alvarez's, preposterous. No. Preposterous. The idea of it. So, okay. So then the people that... Okay, so obviously, if you'd have I can't even believe I have to dignify this.
Yes.
You have a tournament, okay, where you have... Clearly, the WWE is going to have to go by.
Is he frozen? Did he just
mad.
break?
He is mad.
Wow.
He's mad that he broke his own internet.
No, now my internet, forget StreamYard. Now my internet decides, okay, we need to, what I was saying was the WWE has to book the tournament regardless. So they're going to book it according to their hierarchy. So obviously Obafemi would go over anybody that's in this tournament, right? Now, if you wanted to tell me the fans get to vote on who goes in the tournament, that's one thing. But if you have the WWE book who they want to win the tournament and then the fans just vote for who they like more, what does that say for the winners? Like, how are they? You're basically saying, like, you're basically showing them, hey, look, we're pushing you, but the fans don't like you. You don't want to do that to your talent. That makes your talent look bad. And then the WWE, are they bigger marks than the marks? Because they're going to listen to the marks, like, directly now? The direct feedback is what we want?
Or maybe to prove the point of what you're saying to WWE brass. It's like, look, IWC, we're going to give you carte blanche. And then see how your business acumen is. Pick the wrong people, and we're proving you how stupid you are. It goes both ways. It's a win-win.
Neither side is going to listen to the other.
That's true.
Yeah,
so it really is just wasting everybody's time in every possible way. There's not one person whose time this doesn't waste. Not one single one. And even for the fans that vote, even for the fans that actually vote, however they're going to do this, go online, whatever, Twitter polls, whatever, WWE website, whatever, however they vote on this, no fan is going to know if their vote was a vote that helped or hurt, like if they end up losing, they'll be like, but, it's not going to make anybody happy. So
no.
Remember that, again, I'm going to age myself. Remember that American Idol contest? Who was that fucking singer that sucked so bad that we all just called and just tried to ruin American Idol for that singer? Remember that years ago?
William Hung?
What about that William woman?
No. Let's just use William Hung, Jimmy. Let's just... We all called for William Hung to be the American Idol. They called. We tried to ruin the show, but that was our entertainment. That's why I'm just saying, let Club WWE members ruin the John Cena Classic by calling in Jasper Troy and ruining the John Cena Classic.
Aye. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be interesting television, that's for sure, just because it's going to backfire really bad, man. The fans and the company, I don't know what they're thinking, who came up with this bullshit. It's just not going to work, man. It won't, unfortunately.
Guys, I'm gonna dip out and reset my router.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah,
all good. Right, don't stress, man. Go for
it. Just remember, Jimmy, Mark Shapiro is a great wrestling mind for TKO.
Oh yeah, sure. Of course he is. Like he claims to be. Rightio, man. I mean, that's just a load of shit. I mean, when is this? Did he even mention a date? I don't recall him mentioning a date.
No, I think it was just the announcement, because a lot of people were speculating that he was going to be more of the ambassador to the Club WWE thing, that whatever that membership thing, which was a stupid announcement to even begin with, because
I was gonna ask.
he was already
Right.
saying that during WrestleMania. So it was like you're just regurgitating that stupid thing, and there's nothing else for him to do physically because he doesn't want to do it anymore. So this was the only thing left to do. So
So can
again,
I ask?
go
Right.
ahead, go ahead.
No, continue, please, before I do.
No, I'm just saying, like, well, you can look at it from this standpoint. The John Cena Classic is supposed to be a little bit different, but during the years, right now in AEW, you've got the Owen Hart Cup. In
Right.
previous years in NXT, we had the Cruiserweight Classic. We had
And
the
when
Mae
worlds
Young,
collide.
when Worlds Collide, or we had the Mae Young Classic. So we've seen tournaments. So I don't think John Cena was like writing how he wanted the tournament to call, to hash out. But he
Right.
did not mind putting his name on something, because as long as you hear the word John Cena Classic, at least it's something. Okay, cool. You got a tournament? Let's go with it. I mean, today's sickos and today's IWC loves tournaments. So if you love the G1, if you love the Owen
Come
Hart
on.
Cup, if you love all these tournaments everywhere else,
Oh,
what's
God.
another fucking tournament?
That's the way you said it. What's
And
another
Lab Rat
fucking
says
tournament?
it. I can't wait for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre tournament. I want a Leatherface championship belt. Create one. Let's get it going.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, Labrador. It probably will friggin' come to you very soon, as a matter of fact.
But you want to talk about news? Let's talk about. Remember that thing I shared with you a couple of days ago? At least we got to talk about it, at least for a second, because it's very
Well,
dirty news.
Bring it up, please.
Well, there is news because there's this guy who was the former agent of CM Punk, the former agent of Jay Cargill, the former agent of Blake Monroe, and he was talking about AEW's media rights.
Oh,
So,
God.
long story short, I guess the guy's name is Nick LaPiccolo or what, something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. The
neither here nor
Piccolo.
there. He is saying, and I quote, and I'm paraphrasing this, how many nights, so take it with a grain of salt. Again, this is a little bit dirty news. This is what Vet's not gonna, co-sign on this one. So I'm gonna call it dirty with a little bit of shot of cleanliness. But he said this. He says that the Warner Brothers Discovery is not gonna pick up the 4th-year option on AEW's TV, which coincides 2028 or 2029. So again, interpretation, guys, and glad Vet is back on this one, because we were talking about the AEW media rights conundrum, if you will, Vet. But anyway, neither here nor there. But they're not picking up the 4th-year option. This is what Nick LaPiccolo has said. So, again, for the IWC, speculating what's going to happen in 2028 is kind of a moot point, because we're in 2026. So we're 2 years away from this. So, but he's just trying to like stir up the pot, if you will. So again, the question will be, in 2 years' time, where will AEW go? Again, we're speculating here. It's kind of really redundant, Jimmy, to say where AEW is going to go. They still got 2 years left on a guaranteed deal.
Right.
Now,
Right.
whether they pick up that 4th-year option, again, in my humble opinion, I've been saying this with the Wrestling Observer sickos on Twitter and all that stuff. I kind of said the 3-year deal that they signed was very unstable, because immediately after year 2, you was going to have to renegotiate with Warner Brothers to first not only pick up the 4th-year option, but then to redo a deal. And again, with the turnaround, with the turnover of management of Warner Brothers Discovery, guys, Paramount's coming in, and we already know that Paramount is in bed with UFC, with the UFC, with UFC, with that $1 billion deal. And again, if you're in bed with TKO, is Warner Brothers Discovery going to even pick up AEW? Again, that's a nice speculation to have. So let's hypothetically say how many nights that AEW is not going to be picked up by Warner Brothers. Not going to be on TNT, TBS. Where do they go? So that again, they keep, Nick LaPiccolo said, well, YouTube's going to be their only option. Well, they got a channel there. So again,
Right.
you at least, again, it's not monetarily feasible, but you still got the option to put Dynamite and Collision on YouTube. Remember, they already started up with the My AEW app. I'm a
member now, by the way, Prof.
Congratulations, Jimmy!
Yes.
You're a member. Now we got Jimmy. Now we got Vet left to become a My AEW member. So
I'm in America.
Yeah, so is Chabelo.
The 3 most dangerous letter, Vet. You know that. The 3 most dangerous. But again, let me just say this: they got the My AEW app that's up and running. So hopefully, within the 2 years' time, they can ramp it up. They can ramp up that web infrastructure. Maybe sell a licensing deal to something like Apple TV. And maybe they don't want to hear this because that probably be the only deal they could get. I'm just saying. But you got to look at the other options. Maybe Tubi TV might be an option, even though that's a free site. But guess what, Tommy Knights? You might see a lot of advertisements on AEW television if it's going to be on Tubi TV. So again, it's 2 years in the making. We don't know where it's going to be. Or maybe, just maybe, Nick Piccolo is a little bit wrong, a little bit ahead of himself, saying that Warner Brothers is not going to pick it up. We don't know the management structure. We don't know the partnership structure in the next 2 years. We just can't foresee the future.
Bet. What do you think? Are they going to get picked up? AEW did also say if worst case scenario, they will be on YouTube, obviously.
Yeah, there's always places to go. The question is, you're just going to lose that much initial funding. Like whatever portion of, the company that Warner Brothers supposedly owned, that investment would be gone. So it's just a little bit more money out of Tony Khan's pocket. But it was always going to be the money out of Tony Khan's pocket. The only problem is, like, he's spending some money, but he's getting some back. With any of the advertising deals and stuff like that he gets, with anything he gets from the rights fees, with anything he gets, whatever, he can use that to pay some of the wrestlers, but he's still probably operating at a loss, right?
Right. Yep.
So it's just going to be more of a loss. It's not going to stop. He will never stop. If he stops, that means he failed, and he won't allow people to think that. So we're not having to worry about AEW disappearing. We just have to know where to follow it. Jargo broke all this down way better than I could on Hitting the Marks. So I strongly suggest that you go listen to his The Monologue section of that episode, where he basically explains the entire thing about how television and everything works and what the actual people that really matter are looking for when it comes to these things. The only reason that they would say they're not going to pick up the option now is because they know that because of this supposed merger, everything's going to be up in the air. Mm-hmm. So they just can't commit to it. That's really basically the only reason. But people have been saying that to give you an idea of what wrestling fans, how little they actually comprehend the real world and business and this kind of things and entertainment. Remember, they were the ones that were saying that because Dynamite had fallen under 800,000 people, that TNT was going to cancel them, and then they're just going to be, you know what I mean? Like, people have been saying AEW is going to die since it got here, right? And then look at now, 24 years on, and we're still having to deal with TNA. Like, these cockroaches will never go away. And nobody was going to spend as much money as Tony Khan is going to spend. And that should be a good, because we need to talk about Ted Turner, guys.
I was going to bring that up next. I was actually going to bring that up
because that's the perfect transition.
Right.
So go ahead.
Well, as we all know, unfortunately, Ted Turner did pass away last week. Was it last Wednesday, I believe? I think.
This past Wednesday.
We got it. We got the news right before the Next Level went on.
I heard that.
I said, I can't eulogize Ted Turner right now. I'm not prepared for this.
Right. Because it happened on the spot, and I was going to break it for you guys right before you went on the air, but I thought, you know what, I'll let you guys, see it yourselves. But I don't know how he passed away, but obviously he was 87 years old, and he had a good run, obviously. So, but he is a pioneer in the world of professional wrestling. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have professional wrestling on TNT or TBS. We wouldn't have what we have today in many ways. Maybe there wouldn't be an AEW if there wasn't a WCW. So, I mean, to say that Ted Turner passing away is an understatement. I mean, it's a big deal, man. And I felt like it got a lot of press, but it didn't get that much. They said it and then it faded away after a day, it felt like. You know what I'm saying? But he deserves all the accolades that he's ever received, man. And Vet, please tell me your piece about Ted Turner and what you think about Ted Turner. And was he great for the business? I mean, he kept WCW alive, even when the execs over there didn't want wrestling on the platform.
Well, I want to talking about Ted Turner's involvement in professional wrestling. It's a lot bigger than that, but I want to start with that, and I want to go to Professor too, because Professor can probably speak on this,
Right.
as a historian, because Professor's more of a historian than I am. I like history, but he knows more. I'm pretty sure.
I tried my best. I tried my best. I just said.
Yeah.
He's the historian of the group.
It's your business. You know, we're talking. You curate professional wrestling history the way you like, but I'm sure you've seen many things in your days that you didn't necessarily like. You're just part of all of it. So I wanted you to talk a little bit, if you could, about Ted Turner. If you listen to the WWE tell it, Ted Turner only existed in wrestling when he bought Jim Crockett Promotions and started WCW, and then decided to said, Vince, I'm in the wrestling business. But he goes way farther than back, as far as, like, let's start with him going to college with Ann Gunkel. Okay.
Oh, wow.
That is how far back this, and if you don't know who Ann Gunkel is, then you're definitely probably a WWE brainwashed, don't know nothing before Vince McMahon Jr. kind of fan. But Ted goes back that far with wrestling.
Yeah, he goes that far with wrestling, but let's just keep it simplistic with the television. He purchased Jim Crockett Promotions in 1988, but he had wrestling on the Superstation before that, with Georgia Championship Wrestling, with Mid-Atlantic. 605 was the staple of TBS, and he has said it. If it wasn't for wrestling at 605,
that'd be dead.
Wrestling would be so niche. Not dead, Jimmy. It would be so niche and so small and so secular, with all the little nuances and all the promoters having their own TV time and stuff like that. But Ted Turner, because of his love and passion for wrestling, he was the ultimate wrestling fan. He wanted wrestling on his cable stations. So at 605, he had the platform to do it, and Georgia Championship Wrestling reveled with it. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling reveled in it, and of course Jim Crockett Promotions reveled in it, and all that stuff. He made two bad business decisions in his eyes. One, he allowed Black Sunday to happen on his watch in 1984 with WWE, with Vince McMahon purchasing the Georgia Championship Wrestling stock, if you will, and the 605 slot. And Ted Turner, he wanted it back. At least he said he amended a mistake there. The other mistake that he made, but again, greed is the ultimate aphrodisiac, is when he sold his stock to AOL Time Warner, where he lost the voting power. He lost all that stock power to help the one. He was the only man, just like you said, Jimmy, the only man who loved wrestling on TBS and TNT. Right. The execs hated it. It was a black mark in the executives' eyes. They thought they couldn't sell advertising. They thought they couldn't do anything. It couldn't cross over. But Ted Turner just kept the ship afloat as best as he could. He had you could talk about all that bad management from the Jim Crockett promotion purchases. You could talk about the Jim Herds. Talk about the Bill Watts eras, and then he got it right with the Eric Bischoff era to a degree. But again, Ted Turner just loves wrestling. He was he was the billionaire that loved wrestling first, before Tony Khan was the other billionaire that loved wrestling. That's all I can say right there in the short form.
No, it's well said. Actually, you put it in a nutshell, as a matter of fact.
And then let's not forget TNT, TBS, CNN, when the news was actually, in the middle, not one way, leaning one way or leaning the other way. It was
literally in the middle.
It was literally in the middle, where you can make your own judgment and your own opinions of that thing. I don't want to get into that. The Cartoon Network, you can't forget the Cartoon Network, guys. That was under his watch. So, and of course, was the owner of the Atlanta Braves. They sucked in the 70s. They were okay in the 80s, but he got better in the 90s.
He owned the Hawks as well, didn't he?
He had a little
in the
interest
NBA.
In the Hawks. Yeah, he had some interest in the Atlanta Hawks too.
Yeah, no, he's a pioneer, definitely, man. I've got a conspiracy theory about when Vince bought out, stocks in Georgia Championship Wrestling and the time slot. I've said this in the past. I think that has a lot to do with how he purchased WCW, but that's a whole different show. But anyway, Vet, did you want to piggyback on what Professor said?
Well, just in terms of, we talk wrestling, and obviously Ted Turner was hugely influential in wrestling, and he was at war with Vince McMahon long before he bought WCW even.
Yeah, they were good friends too, though. In some way.
Well, I don't know if they're good friends.
Yeah, Vince probably hated
because
his
they
guts.
were already. Vince probably would have wished he was Ted Turner's friend. Ted Turner probably looked at him like, "Who's this motherfucker right here?" But
sure,
it's more than just wrestling. It's like thinking about it, and you really look at being able to pin down one person and the influence they've had, and it's hard to think of many more people besides Ted Turner that had an influence on the fabric of modern American society in general.
Absolutely, not just
because if you
think
about it, think about him having a cable station when cable was not in every household in America. It was very, cable was niche when he had the Superstation.
Right.
Not everybody had cable because it was extra money that we weren't used to paying yet.
Right.
And being able to have that kind of control and being able to say, yeah, I want wrestling. That means it's national. That means everyone can see it. Before that, you think about TV and the in the infancy. TV was a luxury in the 40s, a luxury item. Not everybody had one. That's why that scene in Back to the Future when Marty's talking to like his, when he goes back in the 50s and he's talking to his grandparents, at the dinner table, and he's like, you have a TV? And Marty's like, yeah, we have two. And the kid's like, wow, you must be rich. And the dad's like, yeah, he's pulling your leg. Nobody has two TVs. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're talking about going from that. Okay. And then being localized to those 3 channels. And now you've got a guy that has his own cable station that reaches across the nation, not just locally.
Worldwide,
and what you could put on that.
Even.
Yeah, I'm going to put my wrestling on that. I'm going to put my sports on that. Hey, I'm going to create a news network. But guess what? It's a 24-hour news network.
And
there was nothing like that
network
before.
No.
You turn on your local news in the evening and you watch that, or in the morning, and then whatever. But he had a cable news network that ran 24 hours. Now, how is that relevant today? The only people that are watching television are watching 24-hour news networks. They're watching the CNNs. They're watching the MSNBCs. They're watching the Fox. You know what I mean? Fox News. Like, they're watching all of these. These are the things that get ratings because they're the things that are being watched by people that were old enough to remember when nobody had a TV.
Yeah. For sure.
So they watch the news because old people watch the news. That's what they do. So and these news channels, think of how they, that means we are being propagandized to. We are being marketed to. With the advertising and the influence and these things that the news does to people and the way the news controls narratives now and makes people feel things that they didn't used to feel and sells people products that they didn't used to sell them because they're all in bed with the same companies.
Yep.
Ted Turner had a lot to do with that. I don't know if he ever thought it would get to this point, but he was the first one to do it. So you have to think about how just that one move changed society. Then you think about you mentioned the Cartoon Network, right? We'll get back to that in a second. What about the classic movies? He bought all the Turner classic movies.
TCM, right?
Like, that's the first idea of you hearing about somebody like, I'm going to buy this library of stuff. I'm just going to own all this and I'm going to put it out the way I want to, right? Colorizing it and stuff like that, having multiple channels that can show these old classic movies. Like, this is the reason we have to watch A Christmas Story 24 hours a day every year.
Ben, don't forget, let me interrupt you. He got demonized for colorizing black and whites.
Of course,
as well he should.
No, Jimmy, he got demonized for that because you're tainting the classics. Yeah. People didn't all want to see Casablanca in color.
Maybe the old people,
but he was demonized for that. I'm just giving you. Go ahead, man. I'm just sorry.
Well, regardless, when Turner Classic Movies comes out, those movies are aired in their original format, uncut and unaltered. So he was able to do that, like curate that, and so he's got this whole purchasing the MGM library and whatnot, who was really doing that? But he saw the value in having a library of stuff that, you could keep and curate, for, preservation of history, just because he loved those old movies. He just wanted to do it. And because of that, you think about what things like Netflix have to start from something like that,
Absolutely.
the way we know it now. Right.
Absolutely. You're spot on.
And then the Cartoon Network thing, right? Like,
it's a love Cartoon Network.
Same thing, but it's bigger than just like, it starts with the old cartoons, right? That we know and love, whether it's Looney Tunes, Hanna-Barbera, whatever. Like you have all that stuff, but then as new stuff comes on, then you also get that. So you had, when you had, anime's always been a big part of American culture. I mean, our parents saw, Astro Boy, Gigantor.
I was an Astro Boy fan. Yeah,
Speed
absolutely.
Racer, those things. And later on, we had stuff like
Speed Racer Go.
We had stuff like Go Lion, aka Voltron. We had Mazinger Z, aka Transor Z. We had Robotech, aka Macross, or whatever. So like
Initial D. Goes in the
so
shower.
we had all that. Well, maybe not. Just shut up, Jimmy. So I'm going somewhere with this, okay?
All right, sorry.
The point is, there's generations of that, but with Cartoon Network, you had Dragon Ball Z for another generation of kids, and so many people grew up watching that on those Cartoon Network episodes, right? And then now, anime is a big thing. It's a big part of the youth culture, and you see all kinds of things like comic conventions and everything. And these wrestlers are even influenced by stuff. Like they're taking stuff from that. You talk to a guy like a Keith Lee, or talk to a guy like a Ricochet, or you talk to a guy like Xavier Woods, or, you talk about all these guys and the way they incorporate that stuff into their, everything. And all the kids now, they have this sort of, it's an influence there, but also Cartoon Network also had a spin-off of Adult Swim, which that raised an entire stoner generation, with cartoons and stuff. Like you had those kind of late night cartoons like influence a whole different group of people. And that's still going on, whether it's, whether it was, some Space Ghost Coast to Coast back in the day, or whether it's, Rick and Morty now. But like you've got that whole part of the culture. And this is all due to this one guy and his ideas of saying, hey, I like stuff. I want it.
Yeah, man. I mean, absolutely.
Like we could trace so much back to Ted Turner of the way we are now and the way we've been. I can't think of another person that's done that, because he was a media mogul, and media is what controls the people. So
yeah, he's the man. I mean, for real. I mean, his book also, I haven't read it, but apparently it's a great read. It's called Call Me Ted, which would be an interesting read, which I'd love to get into one day. But
he's a great, before we move on, he's a great example of having the resources behind you for a product. So in terms of WCW, he was the ultimate resource. If it wasn't for Ted Turner, well, the open checkbook, but he was basically the one, the pioneer, getting wrestling more live. Clash of Champions,
he was the
Monday
first
Nitro,
one. Absolutely.
Thunder.
Yep.
Well, if you want to say first, fine. I mean, WWE.
I'm saying for a weekly show.
For a weekly, it was more consistent under the Ted Turner umbrella. He ventured it more into live. WWE was more into tape shows every couple of weeks. So, Ted did his thing. Ted was the resource. Just like we talk about with AEW, Tony Khan has the resources, even though he might have to spend a little money to make a little bit back, but he still has enough resources to keep doing what he loves to do. But Ted Turner was the ultimate resource.
Absolutely, man. I just want to say, like, I grew up with all the same channels, man. Like TNT was on in Australia as well. That's where Nitro was on. Obviously, for me, we didn't have TBS here, but we had Cartoon Network. We had TCM, of course, Turner Classic Movies. Not that I was a fan of those movies. That would be too old for me, but still, I remember him. So, and CNN, of course. I mean, he was literally a worldwide pioneer. I know it affected me down in my neck of the woods, as well as it affected you guys. But he's a huge loss to not just the professional wrestling business, but the entertainment business as a whole. And man, RIP to Ted Turner. I mean, He was cool too. He was a cool guy, man. He was too cool for school to an extent. So he
Just think
will be
about this.
missed.
Just think about this. He watched Barbarella. I wanted Jane Fonda, and he married Jane Fonda for a while. That's what you call a mogul. I watched Barbarella. I loved it. I gotta call her. I gotta get with her.
That's why Vince only wishes.
I don't envy Ted Turner for much, but
but yeah, man, yeah, he will be missed for sure. I mean, do you guys know how he passed away, or was it just natural causes?
He was battling dementia.
Oh, was he? Oh shit, that's not good.
He hasn't been around for a while in the public eye. That's why when I heard of him passing, I wasn't even sure he hadn't already passed, because that's just where we're at now.
Yeah, it's sad, man. Dementia's a fucked up thing, just quietly. But yeah. Well, in other news, and this I guess has got to do with us in some ways, but apparently that'll be reportedly cracking down on streamers and content creators and reaction clips, even though they show reaction clips on their PLEs, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, Fightful Select reported that their sources stated that WWE has been cracking down on streamers and content creators who post videos of their reactions to WWE shows online. It was reported that WWE has recently been sending copyright strikes to a number of streamers and content creators over clips and reactions. It was also reported that WWE is currently working with a company called Stream Enforcement, using bots to target streamers for takedowns on their website. Stream Enforcement describes itself as providing a holistic and cost-effective content protection strategy tailored towards our partners' unique needs. The Wrestling Observer's Brian Alvarez reported that his sources confirmed that WWE has totally clamped down on streamers and content creators over the past 3 weeks. Alvarez reported that a lot of people were shocked about it, including those in WWE, due to those videos did push the product hard to large audiences. WWE's actions have generated a lot of negative criticisms online due to how often the WWE uses clips from content creators to recap segments on their programming. Prof, are they the biggest hypocrites in town or what? And these T-Code just absolutely killing the business here, bro.
Tell me WWE is paying Don Stevens to go after content creators too? What is going on?
Yeah, it seems like it. What is going on? This is crazy.
They're paying it. See, now they're paying Tony Khan. So now Tony Khan's getting more money to go after content creators. No, I'll just play it. But, when you want to keep all the money, greed is an aphrodisiac. That's all I will say. But probably, I'll just say this. This is just my own conspiracy. Probably they'll get these warnings. But if you purchase a Club WWE membership, you will be protected from such violations or infractions with your content creation. So if you pay that $99.99 a month, or I don't know how much a Club WWE membership is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. If you pay $99 a month, you can stream all you want. You can stream all that WWE content and share it with the WWE universe.
Oh God, Vet, anything to say about that?
I mean, this is only going to be talking about people that use WWE footage in their videos. So, I mean, you could still react to it as long as none of the music or the images are used on the screen. Like people aren't allowed to rebroadcast portions of NFL games and react to them. They're not allowed to do that with any. This is what any major sporting or any sort of content, and then this is a constant battle between content creators and other corporations as far as just like the fair use, where somebody wants to use a clip just for part of their video. If we're talking about, I'm just going on what you literally read out. You're talking about people that make react videos.
Right.
This is the most brain dead, worthless content on the internet, almost bar none.
I agree.
Like I need to watch somebody else tell me how they feel about something that I could have watched myself. Yeah. So these people don't have to work a 9-to-5 job because they make faces and get fake excited about shit and then show that shit on their channel. They fucking should be blocked. Where people like us, like Hameen Media Group and others, we have to come up with this show. Like we all three of us come up with this show off the top of our heads for 2 hours a week, every single week.
Facts.
Right?
It's facts. Right.
Why should we just get to watch Darby Allin take a bump and go, oh my God, why should we get to do that? We should be getting all of those views because you can't get our reactions or our analysis from a normal one of these fucking marks that make faces. You know, we're the premium content. I mean, we can make the faces if you want. We could do the Undertaker streak broken guy if you want.
I'm just doing the vet commenting reaction right now.
Exactly.
Keep going.
So
keep going.
So I'm just saying, I have no sympathy for any of these people. I hope all their channels get taken down.
Oh, nice. I agree.
And I know people. I know people are talking about Denise, right? And I know Denise. Yeah, I know Denise has her detractors or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, she does do reaction videos, and yeah, she may have questionable reactions at times, like how much she's really excited about it, but she's been doing this for a long time. She's been part of wrestling for a long time, a lot longer than a lot of these other people who are only known for reaction videos. She's been doing this a lot longer than that. The first time I heard of Denise Salcedo, she was a co-host on X-Pac 12360 when he had a podcast. So she's been around and been doing this stuff. So like as far as I'm concerned, she can do what she wants. I don't listen to her, but she can do what she wants.
That was my X-Pac got a podcast back there.
That was so long ago now. He hasn't had that for forever, but that's how long she's been around at least. So yeah, anybody though that we don't know, anybody who names that we never heard of but are yet somehow racking up tons of views, and they're using WWE content and not getting a strike when we've gotten strikes for just tiny little things here and there. Yeah, no sympathy. Do what you got to do, TKO.
Yeah, I mean, screw them, right? I mean,
well, before we move on, Jimmy, let's not forget in history, New Japan brought the hammer down on even anybody sharing a glimpse of the same thing what Bet's talking about, even on Twitter. They struck them down, and so it's nothing new. So, you know, just because, if you hate TKO, there's greedy. Let's just, again, just like Bet said, I'm the history guy. New Japan was doing this years ago.
Oh, they're the worst, dude. They're the worst.
They went out. Let's just be fair.
Right.
To be fair.
Right.
To be fair.
To be fair. No, you're right.
New Japan was egregious first before
I got threatened, no shit, at a New Japan pay-per-view event here in Monica the Woods for recording a match by security. They all swarmed on me. I'm like, whoa. Relax, man.
You trying to mess with the Yakuza tribe?
Well, they also told you not to record beforehand, but you probably weren't paying attention. You were probably late. That's why you missed the beginning.
I wasn't late. Don't give me the heat. But come on now.
But that's, I mean, they're even more strict on those kind of laws over there than we are here.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's very bad. And I learned that the hard way. But yeah, I just want to point out one thing about WWE before we move on. I used to show some video clips years ago with WWE, and if I did get a strike, they'll actually take it back. I'm talking about during the Vince era. They'll actually allow me to do that stuff. Like at first, they'll give me a strike, then they'll go back on it and allow me to show it. But with TKO, they're just totally just being, I hate to say this word, but they're being literally like content Nazis. Like for real, like with everything.
It's about monetization. If you have content on your channel that you do not own, you cannot make money off that video. So you can have a video and it can have some content on it, and you may be able to show it as long as you make a statement on the channel that you do not own the content. But if you've got your content turned on and all these views and stuff are supposed to bring you money, you don't get that. Why should you? You didn't do anything. All you did was watch a video and react to it. Why should you get money for that? Fuck you.
No, I agree. I totally agree for that.
And they were doing that, even like you said, in the Vince era. But it depends on, we've, things have changed a lot because it's a relatively new thing. Streaming content, everybody being a fucking entrepreneur is a relatively new thing.
I hate that.
So people are still have to figure out laws about it. And every time somebody tries to find ways to circumvent the new laws, they have to move the goalposts again and redo the laws. So we're making it up as we go, and that's why these things keep happening.
Absolutely. You're spot on, man. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys, when it comes to the real, well, actually, there's one more thing I probably should bring up. But did you guys talk about Raja Jackson at all, about and what happened recently with the court case? Any of you guys this past week? Nope. Well, I'll bring it up. So, as noted, obviously from last year, Raja Jackson's son of former UFC fighter Quinton Rampage Jackson was involved in an incident over him legit assaulting a pro wrestler named Psycho Stu, real name Stuart Smith, at an event for Knox Pro Wrestling this past August. Stu was released from the hospital this past August and has been recovering at his home since then. Jackson was arrested and charged with felony battery this past September and pleaded not guilty this past October. WWE had pulled their WWE ID affiliation with Knox Pro following the incident, and WWE Hall of Famer Knox Pro founder Rikishi recently announced his leave from the company. Now, the New York Post reported that Jackson agreed to a plea deal with prosecutors on Wednesday to close his criminal case. It was reported that Jackson pleaded no contest to a single felony count of battery with serious bodily harm at a preliminary hearing. It was also reported that Jackson also admitted to 2 special allegations, including personal infliction of great bodily injury and engaging in violent conduct. Jackson reportedly is currently scheduled to be sentenced in June. A representative for the district attorney's office stated to the New York Post that Jackson's anticipation sentence is a 90-day actual county jail restitution of $81,703, that is, and 2 years formal probation. Jackson's plea deal officially closes the criminal case against him over his incident at Knox Pro's events. Vet, is that a fair deal, or is he getting away with pretty much assault?
What is a fair deal? He beat up another guy. That happens all the time.
That's true.
If this wasn't, people get beat up in the streets all the time. I don't know the single sentencing of every single person across the nation that ever gets involved in fisticuffs or whatever when the police get involved. So the fact that it happens in a wrestling ring only makes it relevant to people like us that talk about wrestling. But as far as crime goes, like, it's not my job to be a judge. So if that's what they decide, I don't know what's fair. I mean, everybody wants to get up in arms about it, but I said back when this happened, and again, as Professor would say, you can check the archived footage of what I said back then. My story is the same as it is today as it was back then. I said this types of to quote the great Snoop Dogg, this types of shit happens all the time. I don't care. Just because you're wrestlers or not wrestlers or the sons of MMA fighters or your hands are registered as deadly weapons or whatever, it's like, I don't care. It's none of my business. You handle this.
Oh man, great point. Prof, how do you counter that?
There's nothing to really counter.
Yeah, that's why I said.
I mean, the judge made a ruling. If that is going to be the case, that's up to the what's the guy's name that got beat up, Jimmy?
Psycho Stu.
That's up to Psycho Stu's family to go after Roger Jackson and his family and go civilly. You know what I mean? Get some money out of that. Because
I don't think they are, though.
I'm just saying, if they're not going to be happy with that justice of 90 days, then go after them monetarily and get the money. That's it.
Well, didn't you say there was an $81,000 restitution? I assume that's to cover medical expenses.
I assume so, right? It doesn't say that, but
which is all you should get.
Right, for sure. Well, in other news, and this is the last piece of news, but I felt
like Jimmy? Come on, man.
I'm sure. This is the last piece. I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but I think it's significant enough. And believe me, I skip a lot.
It better be significant.
Professor, we'll be the judge of whether this is significant or not. Let's hear it.
Put it this way. I learned the hard way with working with Vet all these years, what to talk about and what not to talk about. So I think I've done pretty well since then. True Vet, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, thank you. That's all I needed to know. But anyway, this is a Chelsea Green update following heart procedure. As noted before, Chelsea Green underwent a heart procedure for SVT which is called supraventricular tachycardia. I probably botched that, but
something with the heart, guys. That's all. Go ahead.
something with the heart. That's all that matters. This past Monday, Green provided an update this past Tuesday stating that she would be returning back to work in WWE very soon. A recent episode of Busted Open Radio podcast featured Green as the guest. One of the topics discussed included Green providing another update on her recovery from a recent heart procedure. She says I'm going back to bed to rest. I've got one more day of bed rest and then it's taking it easy for another week. I'm feeling good. My wounds are healing and my heart feels like it's really heavy and my breathing is interesting, but we're on the mend. Green also gave her thoughts about how she was already pitching ideas for a return and is willing to call in for this Friday's WWE SmackDown show if needed, which was last week. Oh, I will, I already pitched for this week. I can call in. And that's that. Vet, are you laughing at me?
I'll give you a Jimmy T reaction for the news.
Are you fucking laughing at me?
I'm laughing because, look, first of all, get well soon, Chelsea. Everybody loves you. Like, let's get that out of the way. But now I got to say my shit. Okay. It's like the first thing I hear of when Professor, you're talking about cardio, is something of the heart. I'm like, her heart broke when she heard what Michael Hayes said about her on Unreal. This is what you get, guys. You see what happens? She goes to the hospital for a first she had a broken foot. Now she has a broken heart. How could you?
Wow. You know what? You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe it did. But yeah, so we didn't, I didn't know that she had a heart thing until she made this little video or something.
Neither did I.
But apparently they probably all did too, which is probably why she didn't get her almighty push.
Exactly.
They probably knew she had a bad heart and they didn't want, she couldn't do anything anyway. So they were probably just like, I guess she loses the U.S. title. And then all this other drama happens. So kind of funny how it all plays out, right?
Don't have heart conditions in professional wrestling. Otherwise you lose your spot, right, Prof?
Well, you know what? They're going to have to re-edit Unreal Season 2 with the Chelsea Green episode. So this way they could add like a little bit of deleted content right there.
God damn it. Well, that's the news, folks. And I think it is time now for us to chuck on the gloves and sift through the wreckage. Right. Go ahead, Vet. This is all you, my friend.
All right. It's all me. Well, then I'm going to get this done in 5 minutes. Nobody else say shit. No. All right. So here we go. We're opening up Dynamite. Shivani and Sting come out and honor Ted Turner, and it was awkward, but whatever. I'm not gonna, at least they didn't have it overly scripted, whatever. Right. They both kind of just probably spoke from the heart, so it's fine. But we already honored Ted Turner, so we don't need to go over that.
Wait, Ben. Just to be fair, before you move on to the next, we honored Ted Turner more better than they did, because Sting was honoring Tony Khan. Like, he didn't die.
Yeah.
Tony Khan.
Did Sting remember his last name? Because he just kept saying Ted, which was kind of weird to me. But anyway.
No, I don't care about that part. It wasn't, once they said rest in peace, Ted, I just heard more of a grandstanding for, hey, Tony. Tony's the man. Thank God for Tony. He didn't die. He's still alive, pumping money into AEW. That's all. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean. All right. So let's get into our Continental championship match where Jon Moxley is taking on Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
What? I ain't trying to watch this shit. Eventually, Jon Moxley choked him out. It took him less than 20 minutes, so thank you for that. Didn't get a time limit Broadway here. But any comments?
No,
I'm supposed to be invested because they have history. This match was supposed to be very interesting because Juice Robinson got a victory over Jon Moxley in New Japan years ago. That's what I was told. I mean, I was told this because of something that happened 5 years ago for the United States title, which doesn't exist anymore in New Japan, that this match was going to mean a lot more. Guess what happened? 20 minutes later, give or take, we got a choke out. And it is what it is.
20 minutes, literally. Like, it really took that long.
He got his win back. But that's not all John Moxley's been doing today. I mean, yeah, he got a big continental win, big continental defense there. But earlier in that day, the cameras caught Will Ospreay being used as a sit-up bench for Wheeler Yuta, and John Moxley was lecturing him about it. So, what do you think? What do you think, Professor with the reactions?
Okay. I was thinking about this for the last week since I wasn't here about this storyline. I remember I checked the archives with Vet because he was telling me before that John Moxley is trying to get him into the Death Riders somehow, some way. I'm paraphrasing, Vet. Am I right? He's trying to get.
I made the Rocky 3 announcement.
Right, the Rocky 3 reference.
So out of all this, John Moxley is treating Will Ospreay, the man who was a free agent coming into AEW, one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's treating Will Ospreay like a young boy. That's what it looks like right now. It's getting to that point. He's treating him like I'm supposed to forget that he's been a former New Japan champion. I'm supposed to forget all these 5-star or 7-star matches that he's had with Okada and Omega and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. I've been neuralized. But now this story is not only I want you into the Death Riders, but I'm treating you like a young boy. And of course, they got the magic potion for fixing his neck. So John Moxley is Mr. Miyagi on that part. So God bless John Moxley for that. But again, I'm just going to say this for all the Hami Knights, and you'll understand where I'm coming from because of this horseshit storyline.
Nice.
When Dusty Rhodes got attacked yearly, I'm talking about years, from the Four Horsemen. If it was Ric Flair beating him up, Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Lex Luger, Barry Windham, if they injured his arm, injured his legs, injured his neck, remind me how many nights on 605 when Dusty Rhodes knocked on the Four Horsemen's locker room and asked to either join them or be trained by them. I'll wait. Other than that, this is horseshit because I've always said this, and I'll keep saying this. I know that Tony Khan has the destination for Will Ospreay, but that journey goes way left or way right, and I'm not satisfied with it. Sorry, Vet. I understand where you were saying with the archives, but I'm just giving you what I see.
I'm not going to argue with what you see.
No.
I just told you what they thought they were doing.
Right.
I'm not saying
he doesn't like it.
Succeeding at it. I never said that they were successfully recreating Rocky 3. I'm just saying it seems like John Moxley only seen one movie, and he's trying to reframe it in as many different ways as he can. But yeah. And the reason that we never saw, well, first of all, Ted Turner never would have allowed it. But the reason that we never saw this storyline with Dusty Rhodes would have been because the Four Horsemen didn't want to carry his fat ass back into limousine, if you will.
That too, Daddy.
Double Jeopardy match, guys.
Oh.
It's Axe the Axe Axon versus Orange the Orange Cassidy. In this very convoluted setup of Double Jeopardy, you've got members of championship teams here. Now, I thought this was going to be a tag team match, playa, but apparently either I was wrong or they changed their mind at the last second and made it a singles match. But basically, they're representing two championship multi-man teams. So whoever wins, they get a title shot at the other person's title. Basically.
Some shit.
That's basically how it is. So if Orange wins, then the conglomeration gets a shot at the tag team championships. If Axon wins, they get a trios match with their buddy Tommaso Ciampa, even though that doesn't make sense for its own reasons that you could check the archives for why we explain why that doesn't make sense.
But did they explain all the other players?
No,
I saw the Young Bucks. I saw Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
I saw Roppongi Vice.
Right.
Again, I know neuralization. I mean, Excalibur got to explain.
Well, we know that FTR is sort of in bed with the Don Callis family, and so that means a conglomeration has called upon the elite to back them up, and that's why you see the Young Bucks, you see CSC Wrestling Factory backing up the conglomeration, because the conglomeration doesn't have enough people on their own, or at least not enough healthy people apparently. But anyway, yeah. we got a quick pin here, but we didn't get a quick match. This took a long time. Again. But immediately after Orange Cassidy rolls him up, we get a schmaz. Everybody hits the ring. Big schmaz. Babies run off the heels, and the day is saved for now. So,
yeah, this sucked. Didn't care. Let's just move right on.
It's hard. It's hard to care. It's hard to care.
You're right. It's true.
Well, they're trying to make you care about Roosh. Here's a package on Roosh. So, if you like packages, here's one. Then
you know how they can make me care about Roosh? Beat
Have
up better
him on
competition.
TV.
Beat up better competition. Be one of those players going after Darby Allin in the near future. That's how you make me care about Roosh.
He doesn't. There's nothing for him. He's just doing things. That's it. No, for no real reason.
How many weeks do we need to see Roosh beating up a Timu Willie Mack?
It's fun to see though. At least
it's fun to see in 30 seconds, but a Timu Willie Mack is not going to do anything for Roosh. He's better than this, and we know.
I agree. Well, I agree 100%.
Well, what it does is it keeps Roosh fresh in the people's minds. It keeps Roosh active, and it keeps a match from going 20 fucking minutes like this Orange Cassidy and Axel match went.
That's a good point, actually.
So it's just, we're just reminding you, Roosh still exists. Next week, Roosh still exists. Roosh still exists. It's not taking up a lot of our time, so I don't mind it. And here's a package. So that's fine too. It takes even less time than a match. It's great. Ooh. And everybody accused Tony of never doing packages, but he does them all the time, and this is one. Now, the next thing we have is Jericho in the back with Renee, and he just takes the microphone from her and goes through the crowd and heads to the ring. He demands that Ricochet come out there. See what I did there? And then Ricochet does come out, and then yada, yada, yada for a while until it gets to the Stadium Stampede Challenge, which that's where they're going. They took a long way to get there again. And Ricochet says, well, we accept your challenge because nobody likes you. And Chris Jericho says, well, I'm sure somebody here likes me. And then they proceed to beat him down, proceed to kick his ass and beat him down like they always do. And like Jericho's t-shirt says, and then, the Hurt Syndicate runs down to save the day. So, I mean, I don't know if they like Chris Jericho, but I mean, they hurt people. So this is a good opportunity to hurt some people.
So we got 3 participants, both sides, the Demand, and then Hurt Syndicate and Jericho for Stadium Stampede. So now we need more people. And then, spoiler alert, they gave a little bit more participation people on this. So it's kind of like confusing the way it's supposed to be 5-on-5, but then the numbers kind of skew. But go ahead, Dad. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Renee
is with Mina Shirakawa and Harley Cameron.
What the hell?
No. This was the best segment that AEW has done in the history of AEW.
Even I got shocked. I was like, whoa, what's she doing?
Now that is how you gain interest. That should not be, that's content creators' wet dream right there. That's all of it.
Content creators' wet dream.
It's not a wet dream. They're awake. Don't worry. And I think that Harley has been awake watching the Hulk Hogan documentary because she does her best Hulk Hogan impression. I never saw Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan may have had some big titties, but I never saw him wear a bra underneath that tank top. So this is a new one for me, but this is what Harley Cameron does. And of course you probably saw some of the Twitter discourse back and forth where people throw their double standards out about
really
why you sexualize these. But it's Harley Cameron. I mean, come on, it's not like a regular person. It's not like a regular person. It's Harley Cameron.
That's shocking though, man. I can't believe people even bitched about that. But even her, she looked like she didn't expect that for a moment, man. She was breathing hard as she went for it.
That is great acting, Jimmy. You know this. This is
no, absolutely. I said it looked like she didn't expect it. Of course she expected it, but you know what I'm saying.
Did any of you guys, and I'm talking about you two or the chat, anybody, did any of you guys ever have one of those Hulk Hogan shirts, like his tank top?
Nah, I wish I did. I
merch
did.
One. Yeah. Professor,
yep.
Did you try to rip it?
I did actually. I did this, and I'm like, wait, my mother's not going to pay another $24.99, so I had to stop. So I got to rip like this, like I had to stop it.
But was it the
Yeah.
proper one? Like, obviously, you know, I say, yeah, I never
It
had
was
that. I
the
had the
official.
t-shirt,
I went on the WWE not shop, but you know, the WWE.
the W magazine back in
Yeah.
the day.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a good old days.
Those things ain't designed to be ripped.
No.
If you notice, Hulk Hogan had a
Yeah,
pre-cut
exactly.
thing every single time.
And it was noticeable too.
That's why I
Yeah,
had to stop myself because I had the scissors and like, wait, my mother ain't gonna buy another shirt for me.
if you just try to rip that thing the way it is,
It's
it ain't
hard.
going
It's
nowhere,
hard to do it,
especially when
yeah.
you're a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So next is a I guess this would be a international championship match or eliminator. It's Okada
Something like
versus
that.
Big Business Bad Apple Bounty Hunter Brian Bakeith.
No.
Yeah.
Brian Bakeith has been winning stellarly on Ring of Honor television.
Yes.
And he has been granted an international championship match.
Mm-hmm.
Through Ring of Honor.
Yeah, beating Sean Dean every week on ROH TV makes him the number one contender for the international championship.
Now, before I mean, the match was what it was. Okada, obviously the greatest. Brian Bakeith, not quite the greatest, but
it did win too best.
Long. He's another one of those guys that sells by like pulling his pants up over his fat stomach instead of just laying there selling. But anyway, and also, what do you guys think of his little side rat tail thing?
What is he, Mongolian now?
Is that what's going on? Off center. It's like,
it is off center. Is he Tom Paul from Kickboxer?
His was on center.
He was,
and it also wasn't tiny.
You're right.
You know, like he has this tiny little braid off the side. It just looks like because he remember he used to have the cornrows and everything. It looks like he was shaving them all off and just left one.
And he fucked up probably, and that's why he just left one.
Anyway, whatever. So
it looks weird.
He didn't collect this bounty. He got Rainmakered, and then Okada says to Darby Allin, I'm coming for the world title, bitch. So
I'm actually excited for that. I don't like the fact that it's going to be on next week's Dynamite though, or this week's.
Well, don't get excited because we'll talk about that later. There's big news, Jimmy. There's big news.
There is.
Okay. We get a package on Andrade. Just remember Andrade exists. The reason he's not here is because he was busy winning a belt, I guess, in Japan. So he's probably still over in Japan.
That's right.
Jet Speed do a promo together.
Yeah.
Then the Ops do a promo, and they're basically telling Will Ospreay again, you need to be not a Death Rider, you need to be an Op. So apparently there's a bidding war for Will Ospreay.
There's a bidding war for a young boy because the way that even Samoa Joe said it himself, I can take you. I can get you into the next level.
He's so dumb.
Jimmy, you talk about nerdization. Samoa Joe's been nerdized not to know about the resume of Will Ospreay. That's all I'm saying.
Right. That's true. That is all ridiculous.
Well, next we have the Bombs of Wrath versus Sheeta Lander. And if you guys want to know, this will be I was listening to my own podcast segment for the week, but I was listening to myself from 6 years ago, and I was talking about AEW, and Chris Statlander and Sheeta were a tag team back then.
No.
So this is the longest term story. I'd forgotten all about it. But
me too.
That was, in fairness, it was 6 years ago. But this is the longest term storytelling of all time.
That's crazy. I didn't even remember that. Jeez, that's
why, at least that's a foundation for why they randomly got back together here, these past couple months.
Interesting.
But anyway, yeah. So the match was what it was. Statlander hits a pump kick to Mina, and Sheeta takes the pin.
And she got upset again, sort of. I'm talking about Statlander.
Yeah, but it's like, well, we won.
The Mega Powers are going to explode very soon.
But it's like Statlander, all the stuff that Statlander did about a year and a half ago, Jimmy. Let's not forget she was the former AEW.
She was Mummy, remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was the former AEW World's Champion. We can't forget that, stuff like that. But it's like they're trying to recycle maybe a dark side Chris Statlander that didn't work, that semi worked the first time with Stokely. Dark Stokely, Dark Stat.
Right.
Oh, yeah. See, now you was nerd, and they didn't even explain why Statlander turned good and got away from that. They just went like, "Oh, we made a mistake. Let Statlander be what she is." Now they're trying to redo it and now make Dark Sheeta turn her into Dark Statlander.
God damn.
Well,
Again,
she just came back. She just came back suspect and dark.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
light,
it's
it's not even
suspect,
dark. It's
definitely.
like shaded, like a little bit of
Yeah, it's like-
shading.
With gray, even. She smoked.
Yeah.
You know, Josh will be. Josh, I need a shirt, right? The journey, the destination doesn't add up. Professor's got a problem. That's my shirt.
That's
wait,
me. Where
but
are we
wait.
going with this shit? You know?
But wait,
That's your shirt. That's your
Yeah.
wait,
But what?
guys, you both forgot something.
What?
Look, Professor, Statlander was resolved because remember the thing with Willow where Willow couldn't trust her anymore and she
Oh,
had to get
yeah.
Willow back and then they finally hugged when
Oh, yeah,
Willow
that's
won that
true.
title.
I haven't
And then
seen
she
a
went-
hug.
That was the road back from Dark Statlander.
But then she went dark right after that again.
We're not
It
worried
doesn't
about
make
that.
sense. It doesn't.
Look, once you go dark, you can always go back. I think that's how the saying goes. I think that's. I'm pretty sure
I
that's the
get.
saying.
I get.
Don't
that
Google
is the
that.
saying.
Nobody
I,
Google that.
I understand it. I'm just saying it's just the way the journey and the destination just never adds up on AEW TV. That's all I'm saying.
Oh boy.
Well, speaking of Dark Swerve, he explains because he's a heel, guys. Well, come on, what were you thinking? He's explaining to us what power is really all about.
Oh,
He gives us a speech about power, not the was it not the Stars series starring 50 Cent or whatever.
Wait, hold on.
you-
Now, I'll let the cat out of the bag for my birthday because Jimmy said I was on a birthday assignment. I was the extra in the bar for the Bandito scene where Swerve has this problem.
Is that what the assignment was?
Yes, I said, Swerve, the professor's got a problem. You were talking about this power, the EVP power. You wanted to be drunk with power. I remember you beat down Brody King. You was the world's most dangerous man. No, so I understand the Bandito Brody connection. But you want power. The only person that you should get your power from is Kenny Omega. But you don't want Kenny Omega. You want Bandito. You already beat up his best friend in the world, Brody King. So what sense with this power you get from Bandito? Do you want to fracture a relationship, a fracture of friendship? You want EVP power. You want the world title power. You just
What
went
about boosted
way,
power?
whatever. But he got nervous. I did this to Swerve. Like you forgot all this. You forgot
That's
all
true,
you
that's true,
said
true.
weeks ago before you shot your rap video, you shot a movie deal, whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. So I'm just saying.
Ugh.
How much power does the Ring of Honor Championship have?
When
That's
Bandito
all he
was,
could get from Bandito.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's lowering the bar for himself down to Ring of Honor champion, then like perhaps.
Wait, didn't we get a vignette last week, Vet, with Bandito?
yeah,
Well, it was
it's
sort of
always
about Bandito, but he
Yeah,
wasn't
we
in it.
Swerve holding the. Yeah, that's right. We Swerve,
Yeah.
going after him apparently.
He
but-
had his hands bloody.
yeah.
He bloodied
And
his
Brent
hands on
did.
the professor and some other guys at the bar.
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Nothing.
well, Renee's gonna follow up and be like, "Hey, Bandito, what's up with that?" And then Brody King says, "I'll tell you what's up with that." And then he says something. Not important what they said. Let's just move on.
Yeah,
Because
that's
we have a main event championship match to get to. It's the Jet versus the Darby. And
let's talk about it.
yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it indeed.
Yeah. Well, Darby whooped that trick is basically what happened here. No, he
That wasn't a whooping.
No, I thought this was a worthy main event. You have a kind of a babyface match. I mean, these guys are definitely on the extreme ends of babyface, but they're not doing anything ridiculously heelish or out of character. So, they had a good match with some exciting stuff. And Darby wins with the coffin, and then Sting comes out and raises both guys' hands, and then MJF comes out and says, "This is all bullshit. Give me my title shot." And Darby's like, "Put your hair on the line." And he's like, no. And then Okada comes out and gets in his face, and then Darby's like, "It's on, bitch."
Gives him a title match.
Yeah, that's it. So there's your main event. Jimmy, what'd you think of the main event?
The match was fine, as you said. Like, it was probably the best match of the evening, actually. To be fair, as Professor says. But yeah, to be fair. But other than that, I mean, clearly Mr. Trick Knight, should I say, whatever you want to call him. Every week he's starting to get more Trick Williams like all the time. It feels like the longer we see him talk, the way he's posturing, the way he's just, his aura is very Trick Willie, and it's annoying the hell out of me, but he's a great talent. But maybe he shouldn't like hang around with Trick Williams all the time. He's starting to copy his shit, man. And he's really a poor man's version of Trick Willie, in my opinion. But he does have potential to become a big star if he isn't already in the eyes of Tony Khan in AEW. So, but other than that, great match. I mean, I can't complain about it.
This would have
as
been
long as
very.
he doesn't come out with a giant Sour Patch Kid or whatever
Oh my
candy
God,
equivalent to
bro.
a gingerbread man that he might come up with.
Oh, God.
I'm fine with it, Professor.
Sour Patch Kid for sure.
Know, wait a minute. Mike Bailey needs something. So Gingerbread Bailey is coming out with Kevin Willie. Let's talk about it. But you know what? I'll say this.
Little speedball.
When MJF was the world champion, guys, there was more structure in the storyline.
Absolutely, and credibility too.
Well, you can call it credibility, but I'm just saying there was more structure with the storylines of people chasing MJF and being the heel champion. Now, don't get me wrong, Vet. I know the formula because, again, you have the dickhead champion like MJF was. He sets the tone and stuff like that. And then when you're the babyface champion, I'm going to be the fighting champion. I'm going to be the people's champion. But you know what? You're turning this belt into open challenge championships. Everybody getting the championship title shot.
Well, wait, let me just cut you off right there. You're not turning it into that. It is that. He said that. So basically we're there. We're not turning it. We're already there. We've been there.
But we've already had that. We've already had that with the TNT belt. We have already had that with the TNT belt. That's the thing.
I agree.
You do not turn your prestigious belt into an open challenge format. It just doesn't work for me.
Why didn't you realize you again?
Apparently you do.
Apparently you do. Yes, I was neuralized. I forgot. But let me just say this: as simplistic as this open challenge was to Kevin Willie, let's talk about it. You know how they could have fixed it for the Professor? That I wouldn't have a problem with this. Darby needed to avenge the loss that he had in the Continental Classic against Kevin Willie. Let's talk about it. Did they talk about that? No, they didn't.
At all.
It was Kevin Willie just deserved.
The announcers did during the match. They surely did.
Are you sure they did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But again, you could have had it. You could have had this before it. So this way, he feels like he needs to avenge something. I'm just saying. Not during the match and all that stuff. And then let me just say this for the MJF thing, and then Bet you can chime in all you want. Now, just a couple of weeks ago, well, not a couple, in February of 2026, we already had a hair stipulation match between Tony, Orange Cassidy, and Willie Uter. Right. Let's talk about it. In Australia. Right. Willie lost his hair. What is that? Did that do anything for me? Did that do anything for the fans? Did that do anything for the storylines? Did Wheeler's character accentuate? Now, I understand what Darby said about, MJF's hair. He went to Turkey or something, shit like that. He got it implanted. Yeah. So it's supposed to mean something. Well, Wheeler Uter's hair is supposed to have meant something to him because he looked like a wolf boy, but it didn't matter now. Doesn't matter now. So do I care if MJF, which he can always fix, he can turn chicken shit into chicken salad. MJF could be a bald-headed champion for all I care. He could do like Kurt Angle and make it funny, make it entertaining. But when you've already done a hair stipulation months ago and now you're doing it again, it's lazy. Sorry, Vet, the floor is yours.
Well, first I want to go ahead and agree with you that, and I think everyone agrees, pretty much, I don't think anybody at this point, especially if they watch a lot of wrestling and not just their favorite tribe of wrestling, but if they watch a lot of wrestling, they're probably tired of open challenges. I think everyone can agree that it's just lazy when you could get to the exact same place. If you want to book a match with a champion, just book the match with the champion, and you could come up with any reason why that the match is happening. Like you said, it could be Darby wants to avenge a loss, or whatever. And then you could just be like, okay, well, that's why this match is happening. But it just, anything except just saying it's an open challenge, because that's just the laziest thing to do. But you can always still get to the same exact place. You just have to change the details. And it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it is a big deal. So there's no reason for all these damned open challenges. Now, as far as the hair stipulation, yes, they shouldn't have wasted on Wheeler Yuta, but I think you're missing an important aspect of this, which is MJF ain't losing that. So while you should save the stipulations, the reason you said it doesn't do anything for you, Wheeler Yuta, is because you wasted a stipulation on somebody that's not a star.
Right.
There you go.
So you got to stop acting like the undercard is the same as the top of the card. Even if you want a sense of equality in your company or whatever, that's more about personal treatment, not the booking. You know, like if you want fair treatment for everybody under the umbrella behind the scenes, right? Okay. But on a television show, there are main players in your story and there are supporting players in your story. There's extras like the professor in a saloon somewhere getting tossed out, you know? There's a pecking order for this. So just because everybody gets they get to eat from the same catering table, but on the TV show, you have to realize, hey, sorry, Wheeler Yuta, you're an important part of the show. Not a star, though. Don't bring in any money for us. Don't sell anything for us. You're just here. You're lucky to be here. Be lucky we don't cut you. That's the role that Wheeler Yuta's in, whether you like him, don't like it. So you use these major stipulations for a star so that it feels more important, it feels special, and that you actually think that there's a chance that Darby will win, because in your mind, you're like, I think it would be hilarious if MJF had to be bald. It's never going to happen, though. He's getting that belt back, just so everybody knows.
You think that soon he'll get the belt back?
No, I think they're going to shave his fucking head, Jimmy. What do you think?
You know what? I wouldn't put it past him if they did shave his head, though. I could see it for some reason, too. But I agree with you that it probably won't happen.
Especially after they just did Wheeler Yuta.
Not
give you the same result.
Idiots. They would do that.
Not for nothing, Vet. You had a great content creator's face reaction when Jimmy asked that question. I just wanted to say that.
I always get that reaction.
You know, that's where the real money is. As long as we don't use the clips.
The money shot.
So it ain't gonna be no money shot on my face, pal. this ain't the WWE NDA section, okay?
God damn it.
But anyway, so this is all bled into the first hour of Collision.
Yes.
The ending of the match and the raising of the hands and the Okadas and everything. That's all the beginning part of the Collision hour. And then the next thing we get is Renee with Will Ospreay and Doc Sampson, and he's giving us an update on Will's condition while Will's just standing there. And he's like, well, it apparently, whatever, we told Will not to go to Japan, but damn it, he did. And damn, if his neck didn't improve. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it, kid. Okay.
God damn it.
There you go. And then what about Speedball, the gingerbread man? Well, he's going to take on AR Fox.
Ooh, a Fox against a gingerbread man.
And he gets the ultimate weapon. So there you go.
So it's a damn shame AR Fox hasn't gotten any vignettes himself. So this way we can care about him too.
Funny you mention vignettes, because we have a Willow Nightingale vignette where she's talking about being the face of TBS.
Really? The face of TBS?
That's what she said.
We will wait in 2 years before she becomes the face of Tubi TV or Pluto.
Or YouTube, possibly. Maybe
That's
Pluto,
right.
like you said.
She looks like some of the people I see on those Tubi originals.
You're a cunt.
Pac wants a shot at Darby. He's calling it next. It's open challenge, so he's got to make his vignette to I would think that before while Pac is shooting a vignette with all this cinematic stuff and he's cutting this promo and everything, and then you got to send this video in to Tony to play on the show. You got to get it approved and everything. You got to get the airtime and everything. I'm thinking while he does all that, like 56 members of the roster could have came in and challenged for the title while he was doing all that.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, apparently
he's
not.
The first one?
Yeah, apparently they didn't take the opportunity. Next, we have Jamie Hayter versus Dark Sky.
Dark Sky.
That's right. Jamie Hayter takes her all the way to the top rope to hit a Haterade to finish Dark Sky.
1, 2, 3. See
Guys,
ya.
let me tell you, this match was what it was, but if you like ass,
Yeah.
you might want to check this one out, because Conrad would say go out of your way to watch Jamie Hayter versus Dark Sky, because
Check
the
the archives for Brock Lesnar's Instagram. Looking at the window.
Yeah.
Quoting ass titty.
It's definitely
and I
there.
fell
It's
for it.
definitely real. It's definitely official. His Instagram. This is more cake than Professor's birthday party.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the Triangle of Madness, or whatever the other two, the I don't know, hypotenuse of madness, or whatever is left of the triangle up in the stands. And then the camera's like on them getting a reaction. Normally Tekla's up there with a microphone. She didn't have one. They're just up there like making faces and, goofing off or whatever. And then while the camera is shooting them getting the reaction, because obviously reactions are everything in this business, as we've discussed many times in this episode already. While the camera's shooting that, Jamie Hayter did something to Dark Sky in the ring, and the camera missed that because they were busy getting the other two triangles' faces right there. And so you just hear a bump happen in the ring, and then they cut back, and Dark Sky's laid out again.
Fucking idiots.
Good job,
man.
guys.
Now I would forgive the cameraman for just paying attention to the booty, but he was just
There's no booty
Kevin.
though, bro.
At least Beaverman Kevin Dunn would never have deprived the viewing audience, the television viewing audience, that. That's all I'll just say.
Facts.
I don't know. I mean, if his ass and titties, maybe Kevin Dunn would have went with the titties up in the stands and not the ass down in the ring. But who knows? The point is they missed it. Next is the Don Callis family. They're kind of catching this is their expository way of catching everybody up on what the storylines are. And we got Mark Davis has Jack Perry coming up for the national title. We got Okada taking on Darby for the world title. Takeshita doesn't understand how that's good for him, because he's pissed off that Okada gets a title shot, not realizing that if Okada becomes the champion, then that means he automatically is facing the champion, but apparently he's too stupid to understand that. And then Andrade gets his new catchphrase over, which is, how you know?
How you know?
Even if it doesn't make sense in the context of what they're talking about, he's getting it.
How'd you know?
How'd you know? Hey, Roosh is gonna have a match. Roosh versus Manny Lowe. And how'd you know that when you mess with the bull, you get the horn? Yeah, there you go.
Manny Lowe. Where's Manny Fresh?
Where's Manny Faces?
Yeah.
Be in the new Masters of the
like
Universe
that.
movie.
I like that. It's good.
Short Bus Express. Jack Perry climbed some rocks. What the fuck was this? I'm not even gonna dignify this. Let's just move on. Your main event, Jimmy, as you can imagine, for any Collision, it's going to be a huge multi-man match. The Dog Riders versus the Young Gangbang.
The young gangbang. Oof. It's interesting. I'm intrigued because of the Bullet Club sort of being together again. But yeah.
Oh, I thought you was intrigued by a young gangbang. What? I was like, wow.
Well, not by a bunch of blokes, but
I did not know you that well, Jimmy. I did not know how much you wanted a young
I'm
gangbang.
Greek. I'm Greek, but not that Greek, Professor. Come on now.
Gotcha.
No,
neuralize. Forget you even saw that.
It's never
shit.
happened.
Never happened. I'm not Greek anymore.
Yeah, it's whatever, man. Who cares? Let's move on. So we got one little piece of business left. It's the Collision Fairway to Hell.
I didn't watch this. I'm going to confess. I said it to Vet earlier. I'm like, what the fuck is this Fairway to Hell bullshit? Apparently it was the second hour that they had to show. So I'm going to leave myself out of this one.
All right. Well, you'll be excited to hear what they had on this episode.
Awesome.
Did at least AC/DC sang "I'm on a fairway to hell"? Did I get that?
Nah.
Yes, but then they got a copyright strike, so they had to pull it.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch Fairway to Hell, Professor?
I saw some tidbits going back
Okay,
and forth. between
good. This will
Backlash
move
and that one.
quickly. I just
Oh wow.
so yeah, it's only an hour. So we're starting out with our national title match. Jack versus Mark. Don Callis was on commentary, and they were having a good time here. He said he made a comment about I already because the SoFi Center they had from the SoFi Center they had this weird golf setup. It was very strange. Professor, did you get a look at this venue that they were in?
Yeah, I like the venue because again, the weird thing about it was the seating. Like you had people sit, but the ring was so far back.
Yeah, from
like,
one side they have like a whole golf green,
yeah.
and then the seats at the far end. So anybody that got those seats is like, hey, what the?
Wait, was the ropes green at least?
No.
No,
damn.
it wasn't. But I'm just saying, like anybody who bought a ticket for that, hopefully they got comps. But anyway, neither here nor there, Jimmy. But anybody who got a ticket for the seating arrangements, Jimmy, had to really like look at the ring or had to
Was
get
it that
binoculars.
far? Legitimately
Yes.
that far?
It felt like, you know, back in the days when they were at the Daly's place, Jimmy, like the wrestlers had their own seating in the front. It was only like about 50, like almost less than 50 people there. And then everybody is in the back. It was a weird thing. I like the setting, don't get me wrong, but
it looks the venue is cool on TV, but it's awkward seating for wrestling if you're trying to fill the joint. Jimmy, go look up some images of it.
Yeah, I want to look it up. I'm intrigued.
Look up some of this.
By it.
But RBV is asking, was this at a Top Golf? Well, I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume yes, it was probably. But anyway, so yeah. So Don Callis made a comment, and there was golf stuff all night. Everybody was dressed. People had like Argyle sweater vests on, and you know, polo shirts, and like they had all kinds of the shit. So they're definitely in the golf theme.
Oh, wow.
Don Callis made a joke about like he already played 42 holes today, that's kind of funny because I don't think 42 is divisible by 9. So I'm not sure why you would have played that many holes, but
I'm not gonna lie, these are cool.
Looks kind of cool. Yeah, it was definitely a driving range. It can't be a full course. Obviously.
Was it indoor?
Too big.
Yeah, it's indoor. It's in Florida. It's in Palm Beach, Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
And I see that they were even wrestling in the freaking sand as well.
Well,
we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later.
I'm just saying.
We'll get to that. So Don Callis on commentary, but I want to tell you guys, if you didn't see this, you may want to check this out for a very peculiar reason. Because you know who else was on commentary? Tony fucking Khan. Was Tony Khan at the commentary desk? No. Tony Khan was in the earpiece. But guess what was coming through the broadcast? What the announcers were hearing in their earpiece. You can hear Tony Khan directing the show on this broadcast. You can hear him tell Tony, okay, you guys can react to this. You can say, coming up, 3, 2, 1, push this. You can hear it. So go look it up. Go watch it.
Wow.
You want to hear how this shit is done?
Was this on the My AEW app? Or was this on the
TBS? Yeah, it was.
You tell me, Professor, because I saw a version of this, but they're just ripping it from other international versions. So
I actually saw it. I saw it on Fox Sports Premium, the Mexican stream, so I saw it all in Spanish. So they didn't. They were clear of that. They were clear of Tony Khan doing that.
It was on my AEW 100% because it came up on mine. That's why I asked Vet, like, what the hell is this?
Well, anybody that watched this, I want to know if you can hear this because I heard it clearly. So I just want to know if that was because it was, you know, at least on somebody's broadcast feed. This was somebody's mic was jacked into the wrong jack, bro. They had some that so shit. It's very fascinating if you're that, you know, into this inside stuff to hear Tony actually directing the show. But anyway, setting that aside, just know that goes on for pretty much the whole hour.
Wow.
They never caught it. I guess they never figured out what was happening.
Holy shit, that's bad.
If they did, it wasn't until the very end, but so in this match with Jack Perry versus Mark Davis, yada yada yada, same match they had last time, except one important difference. Here comes Ricochet with a gold golf club, whack to Jack Perry, and we have a new champion, guys.
I'm shocked.
Davis. Dunkzilla, wrong sport, but he's the
Yeah.
champion.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
shocking.
Did this tight say Golfzilla? So this way you keep up the theme.
Not even.
Damn.
No, nope.
Should
not-
follow with the trend.
blew
Did
it,
at least
blew
still
it.
say what was it again? Danger or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, well, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, he already won that title.
So he's now Mark II belts. So
Oh shit. Where are they going
Yeah.
with this guy, man? Now suddenly they seem like they're high on him, and I get it. He
No.
looks like a beast.
Say it
He's
the
like a
right way,
real
Jimmy.
beast.
No. Say it the right way.
All right, fine. Where the fuck are they going with this shit?
Thank you.
Seriously, where are they going with him? Is he going to be a
We
champion
haven't
for
even-
long?
we haven't even popped the champagne for Mark
I know, that's
Davis's
true.
championship win, and Jimmy's already asking.
No,
where
but
we're going.
surely he cannot be champion for too long, will he?
Does it matter?
Maybe. Yeah,
No, it
Does it
doesn't
really matter?
actually. No,
nothing
Not at all.
matters, guys.
nothing
Nothing
matters. Yeah,
I
but I'm going to
cannot-
watch this.
All I'm
I
just
wanna
gonna
watch
say
it.
is I cannot wait for the Dunkzilla Open Challenge. That's all I.
Nah,
Okay.
stop it, Prof.
Here we
Come
go.
on, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
he'll
it,
be busy with
realized.
something else soon, but we'll get to that in a second. Nick
Right.
Wayne's going back to the Super Juniors.
Nick Wayne's back.
To the Super Juniors. He's going to the Super Juniors.
Oh, they keep him there.
Let's see. Jack has a post-match thing where he makes a challenge for the Stadium Stampede thing and says he's going to bring the Elite with him to team up with.
Now
I guess
this is
the good guys.
this is where I'm confused, Vet, because again, if it's 5-on-5, I'm counting Jack, Young Bucks. That's 3, Kenny is 4, Jericho's 5. I got 2
Yep.
Hurt Syndicates, Shelton
7.
and Bobby, and let's just say MVP hypothetically. That's 8. Well, I got is the demand. Did Don Callis family commit to the Stadium Stampede? Is this part
Funny
of
you
the
should
deal?
ask. Funny
Please
you should
tell me.
ask because right now Renee is live with the Don Callis family, and
Consistency.
he heartily accepts the challenge with
Really?
Ricochet there. It's Don, it's Ricochet, and the new champion Mark Davis,
Mhm.
and he's basically saying in so many words, Ricochet has carte blanche of the Don Callis family who he wants to join the demand on his team, and definitely Mark Davis is going to be one of those. So that's where we're going with this, Jimmy, is Mark Davis is bringing that
Yes.
national title to the Stadium.
For
I want
credibility.
I want
bro.
Mark Davis and Lance Archer, but I'm gonna get Hechicero and El Cajon into the Stampede match.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I love Hechicero. Come on, man.
He's etchy 2 belts now.
Yeah. CMLL.
So funny enough, I think this will be the last time we talk about the Stadium Stampede today, but in another segment of I was listening to myself from 6 years ago, I was talking about the original Stadium Stampede match. And apparently, and I kind of forgot, maybe I neuralized myself, or maybe all the other horrible things that have happened in the
Got PTSD, bro.
in the past 6 years have erased it from
Yeah.
my memory. But apparently I hated the original Stadium Stampede so much that while I was watching it, I considered quitting wrestling altogether and never just completely excising it from my life.
No way. That bad.
I hated it so much. I was thinking about walking away from anything
That's
to do with
hilarious.
wrestling ever again.
Was that the one with Conan in it, if I remember correctly?
I don't remember. It's the one where, Matt Hardy would like fall in the water and come out as a lake of reincarnation type
Okay,
thing.
I
and
remember
some other
now,
shit.
right.
So
Matt Hardy and the Elite, Jimmy against the Inner Circle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember now.
and it was during, they came up with this because this was, lockdown times. So and I'm not talking about TNA lockdown, I'm talking about everywhere lockdown.
Right.
So they had to come up with some creative thing, to do. And I just hated it so much I almost swore off the business forever. But
You almost make me want to listen to this podcast now, Vet.
everyone should listen to me all the
Well,
time.
where is it? Where is
everyone
it?
should always be listening to me all of the time.
No,
They
but
should
for
put me
real-
on when they go to sleep. Yeah.
Where can I access this, by the way? It's you and Serge, correct?
Yeah. It's probably on all the podcast platforms as 2 In with Sergio and the Vet.
Oh, okay. I'll check
So
that out.
if you're interested in
intrigued.
how long I've been predicting the future or whatever, or what I got right and what I got wrong, yeah, check that out. All right. So next is the Divine Dominion, who they're on their way to the ring, but they put a promo in there of them doing it. And they're basically, this is what they have decided. They've decided that, since this is too easy for them, they're going to make every match an eliminator match where you don't have to win. You only have to last 5 minutes.
Okay.
Even if you last 5 minutes, you get a title shot. So that's how they're doing it. And their first opponents are Ruthie Slay and Rachel Lay.
Ruthie Slay, what? Rachel Lay? That rhymes.
The Lay Slayers.
The Lay
Oh,
Slayers,
hey,
yeah.
I like it.
They lasted 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
That's
So they're not getting a title
that's the
shot.
average for a lot of men in bed. Oh, so go ahead.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's above average for a lot of men.
Yeah.
It's 3 times the average of the AEW fan in bed. Actually,
Yeah.
it's 100% the average because I don't think they get any. So anyway, Don Callis is warning the winner of tonight's main event, Pac or Darby, don't worry about Okada anymore because Okada had to go to Japan and take care of some business.
Oh.
So taking his place against the winner of tonight's championship match will be Konosuke Takeshita. That's right.
Okay.
So Takeshita is coming in and he says, once I do this, I will be the world heavyweight champion, unlike Okada. So little wordplay there. There you go.
I mean, that's almost, they're trying to get to that destination with the storytelling that's very predictable. Okada will mess up Takeshita's, shot at getting the title. We see this coming a mile away. So they're trying to build up something for Double or Nothing, which is fine. It's just, again, I just want consistency. The journey to the destination. This is a nice off ramp, Jimmy. That's all I'll say. But
it's not Destination Unknown.
Again, the destination would have been way better 6 months ago, but they messed that up a long time ago.
That's very true.
Well, because the scheduled 5-minute match went 2 minutes short, we got a standby. Bless them for trying. They try to do stuff that just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, Speedball versus some guy named Kieran Gray. He wins. Speedball does, and the Jet is very supportive of his friend Speedball. And he's saying, let's make it to the top together. And,
how many jobbers were involved in this event, man?
Quite a few. But
Damn.
we get our main event now. We get a little package, and then we get Pac versus Darby, and this match is a no count-out match.
What difference is
Not
it?
a no DQ now. Don't you break any rules. But if you're outside the ring,
so you can't break rules still.
Can't break rules, but you can stay outside as long as you want.
Okay.
That means you could kick each other into the bunkers and do all kinds of crazy bumps on the golf course.
The bunkers looked interesting.
I will say this, Vet. At least, the one caveat that I've always been mad about with AEW, and you can attest to this, check my archives, is every AEW match, the sequences are the same and shit like that. They do the same movesets and multiple matches, people kicking out at one. I was glad at least this was the only match where they can go all over the golf course.
And
if they did it, if they did it during the whole Fairway to Hell match, I would have been like, why'd you waste something that precious, if you will, guys, for everybody else instead of the main event, and they saved it for the main event. Kudos to Tony Khan. I'm gonna give him his flowers there. At least he did not get stupid and say, well, like, let Mark Davis and Jungle Jack fight in the sand traps. Or do all the same things. They saved it for the main event. I'm glad at least Tony Khan learned from that.
Good point.
Well, on an overall, bird's eye view note, it's like AEW's been a lot more watchable in the past few weeks or months, regardless of what our nitpicks as far as like how much sense it makes, because it doesn't make really any more sense necessarily.
Yeah, that part never will change.
It just won't. But the WWE don't make sense either. So like AEW has more stuff that makes sense that I just don't care about. Whereas the WWE does things that actively don't make sense a lot of the time too. So AEW's been a lot more watchable if you just turn on the show and expect a wrestling show. It's fine. But that's one of the things is when you got a guy like Darby, you're not going to get a stupid ass match. And if everybody did do some match where they went out and did all kinds of stuff, then Darby probably wouldn't have done that. He probably would have said, well, let's just stick to the ring then, because everybody else already did that, because people like him actually know how to work. They're not just like a crash test dummy, even though that's what people know him for.
But he actually does
have a great brain. And they even had this, and I don't know if this was Darby, I don't know if this was an agent or whatever, but because of the no count out thing, they weirdly had a stack of tables set up, you know, and they fought over to a balcony, and then the referee was out there trying to get them to come back in the ring all the way from the balcony. Like, he's like, come on guys, get down from here and let's all go back to the ring together. And while he's up there, Marina Shafir comes up to the referee and is like, hey, I'm Marina. And he's like, what are you doing here? And so while he turns around, that's when Pac takes Darby and just throws him off the balcony through the stacked tables. So he takes a gross bump like you knew he would, but at least they thought enough to like have the referee not see it, because it's not technically a no DQ and he should get DQ'd for throwing guys through tables off balconies. So they even had Marina come in and do a little bit of, you know, so that was even, they didn't even need to do that. No one would have thought about that, but I like that they did. But that's okay, because he survived that. And then he comes back and yada, 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 hits Pac. When the referee gets redistracted, Darby hits Pac with a low blow, hits him with a belt shot, and hits a coffin drop on him. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Darby retains by any means necessary.
Is he having one too many matches, guys, right now, do you think?
No. Darby's getting desperate, Jimmy. That's what it is, and he's getting tired. All this competition, so he's gonna have to do some low blows and shortcuts just to hold on to that belt. That's what it is.
Well,
furthermore, the announcers are putting that over. Like Tony Schiavone's like, well, Tony Khan is telling Tony Schiavone to
that's funny.
say that you know, he's having more title defenses in this short amount of time, and he's got another one coming up on Wednesday. And this is all going to be in service of when MJF takes the title back. It'll be Darby's like out.
Right.
Like he ran himself too ragged in too short a time, and MJF was probably going to cheat and whatever else, you know. So they're already protecting Darby by having him do this. That's probably the plan all along. Like, we know MJF is taking that belt into fucking All In. Like, we know that. It never wasn't going to be that. We didn't think that we'd go on a detour, but we did. But now that we're on this detour, the logical thing is, well, to get it back off of Darby and have the fans understand the story, we have him run himself ragged with these open challenges, and now it makes sense why his body physically can't stand up to this kind of punishment on a nightly basis. So it's easy pickings for MJF to come in and do that.
No, for sure, you're right.
That makes sense. Now, we're talking about stuff that doesn't. We're talking about Jon Moxley's bullshit, and we talk about this other stuff. But I think when the stuff that Tony comes up with in conjunction with other guys that we know have a brain, like MJF or Darby or whatever, and those kind of people in the main event, yeah, I think he can work well with those guys that understand. And then when he has to work with guys like Moxley, he's going to let Moxley kind of do what he wants, but you know, that's the trade-off. So
right, he looks up to what's his name, to Moxley as well, I feel.
All he has to do is tell Moxley, you know, there's Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, Creed 1.
Tell him about Rumper Stumper too, though.
Creed 3. I'm just saying, there's more in the Rocky trailer, in the Rocky archives.
Oh boy.
There's also other movies from the 70s and 80s you could steal from.
Right. And I feel like
he loves Ghostbusters. That was in the 80s.
God.
Time Cop was in the 90s.
Time Cop. Imagine that they killed Darby and he's a ghost. He's like Slimer suddenly.
Oh my God. You know how you could fix the Will Ospreay shit?
What?
Tell Tony, you're listening, or Don, I know you're watching. This is a great content creative reaction. Tell Jon Moxley to watch Bloodsport.
Oh no!
And turn Will Ospreay into Jean-Claude Van Damme and Frank Dukes.
Frank Dukes, yeah, I was gonna say.
And then it works for me. Now, not Rocky 3, but it's got to be Bloodsport. all that makes sense. You see,
no, so
the wheels are turning
no,
and
so
Vince
we're
McMahon
gonna
like,
see-
Boxer.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna see John Moxley like stringing up Will Ospreay in that pulley system
Yes.
where he does he force him to do the splits. Like,
yep.
But does
work.
W have a like people after him, like the cops and shit?
No.
Like, you know, from Bloodsport,
maybe.
how the army was
Well,
after him.
that'd be Caleb Newman and the United Empire and Great O'Con running after him.
True.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a great point. That's good. That's very good, Prof. I like it.
See, when he
Great
goes to
O'Con
Japan,
as Forrest Whitaker.
when he goes to
I like
Japan, that story writes itself.
Right, no, you're
they
right.
can
It's
run
good.
after him like Bloodsport.
Very good. Very
Well, we already
good.
know
I
he's seen Bloodsport because Leo Rush is here. Anyways, guys, that's the end of AEW for the week. That's
You're
the
on fire
end.
tonight, man.
We did it. We did it.
Ah.
We did it. We made it. Professor's back. We had a great time. I think our channel is still up. That's all.
It is. It is.
Yeah, we
as a
didn't
matter
get
of
struck
fact.
down.
No, the numbers.
We
are
didn't
still
put
good.
any. We didn't put any blockable content here. We did it all ourselves.
We did, absolutely. Except for the little shenanigans at the start. We apologize once again. It was out of our control. I'm just happy that everyone came over to this new room that we made for the Wreckage and not, stay on the other one. So I'm happy with that. So in saying that, boys, Vet, I'll go with you first. What are you up to today? Are you going to hit the Twitch? And are you still playing the same game you played last? Which
You
they
will
bought, by the
never-
way.
I will never answer the question of what game I'm
Why do
going
you
to
do
play.
that?
I will
Why?
just never do it. You'll just have to tune in if you want to see.
Freak. No.
Twitch.tv/OpinionHaver, and definitely appreciate all you guys for hanging out wherever I go. You can check me out on the Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, where Ray and I do the Next Level Wrestling Review, NXT talk, and much, much more fun and games. We've got the new segment, Professor, which I'm sure you enjoy very much. The what's better or who's better. So lots of good debates and chat interaction there. Every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we have the Drew Carey Show review, where we talk about a new episode of Drew Carey.
Vic, can I just ask quickly?
What?
I tuned into the new Drew Carey show, and he's not lying. I was like, "What the fuck? They're talking about Drew Carey."
Yep,
Like,
we're
what
on
the hell?
episode. This tomorrow, as we record this, Monday, May 11th, will be episode 5. You can watch along on Tubi TV, where Tony Khan may end up one day if he doesn't play his cards
God.
right. So it'll be right there. You can watch Dynamite and Drew Carey for a back-to-back attack. So anyway, yes, tune in and watch the Drew Carey Show review with myself and Brandon. 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, smack dab in the middle of Monday Night Raw. Check out Wrestling with Rip Rogers every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. We have new guests every week sometimes, and
Someone just did that, by the way.
yeah. So check out that. Check out the Stevie Richards Show with a new episode every Thursday. Check out Limpin' Ain't Easy with a new show whenever Timmy drops a new show. Timmy talked about the releases this week, and I guarantee you he's going to put a perspective on it that nobody else is talking about. Because guess what? Timmy did work in the WWE, so he understands a lot of these things. So you're going to want to hear his thoughts on the releases, the call-ups, and how they're actually two sides of the same coin. So please check out his channel, Limpin' Ain't Easy, Timmy Baltimore. Like, subscribe, notification, all that stuff. And that's it for me.
Prof, tell them what you're up to with the Pro Wrestling Reflection.
Well, we took a week off, guys, so, but tell a friend to subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Reflection YouTube channel at Pro Wrestling Reflection. Follow me on my Twitter or X at PWSOPRF, that's PWSOProf. And again, we're working on something. Maybe we're going to do an episodic. Maybe we'll do a year in pro wrestling. We might go back to the movies, but I'll keep you on your toes for all the homie nights out there. And for Vet, I'll give you a what's better, breast implants or BBLs? Just work on that one, Vet, if you want to do that.
You're a character. I'd rather go with the breast just quality, only because apparently BBL stink.
I'm just saying, but again, for the new concept, that's all I'm just giving you a suggestion. What's better?
There's a reaction. I was just gonna say. I was gonna say for anyone that can't see it, and
Yeah, the ass got to be real, guys. Sorry, gotta be real.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. As far as I go, look out for HMG's Insanity, our obviously JCW Lunacy review show tonight at a late sort of time at 10 p.m. Eastern with myself and Whoop Brandon. No, we won't be talking about the Drew Carey show, but we'll be talking about, unfortunately, but we'll be talking about Lunacy. So look out for that tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. The only reason why we're doing it tonight is because Backlash was on the night before. So every time there's a PLE, we shift the night. So 10 p.m. Remember that, Eastern. And of course, look out for this week in WWE every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern with myself. And of course, R to the B to the V, where we talk all things WWE. And actually go tune in to Hitting the Marks with RBV and Dr. Michael Jargo, 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays as well. It is RBV Tuesdays for RBV.
Go listen to Jargo break down the thing about the TV contracts and all that stuff. You guys all need to hear that if you didn't hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also go check out, for anyone that hasn't checked it out, go check out Master Shoot Theater where Ben has a big announcement. I'm not even going to bother bringing it up here. Everyone knows what that announcement is for the most part. But if you haven't heard it, go check that out. It is a must listen to or watch show. And yeah, that's about it. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He's my co-host, Jamie the Vet Williams, the best in the world, that is. And of course, we got the magnanimous, the glorious, the ever-essence, the Professor Chabelo, Vera, Cruz. And you've been listening and watching the
Wreckage.
Boy.
Till next time, peace out, much love, and we're out. See yous.